It's been so long since you smiled. Tell me where you left an empty child. Oh, let's have our feast on those who least expected this. The time is now, I swear we won't regret it. Won't regret it. Yeah, we sleep there under stars in the shelter of the dawn. Addicted, addicted. Yeah, when you find out who you are, I'll be watching from afar. Addicted, addicted to this. No, we won't tell a single soul. No. Of every passing night we've sold. Oh, this is our time, our place, a new day is in bloom. Come and see what it's like to just accept it. Yeah, accept it. Yeah, we sleep there under stars in the shelter of the dawn. Addicted, addicted. Yeah, when you find out who you are, I'll be watching from afar. We're addicted, addicted to this. Take me to the light. I got tunnel vision sight. I got higher than I like. Too pretentious to rectify. Looking back, I know you tried. No, but does it still possess your life? Let's go out and get electric one more time. Everything in the world could be as we left it.
got big-time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
We are taking over. Yeah, we are here to stay. Don't get comfortable in your crown. It's about to come crashing down. We are the wild ones. We are the fighting of guns. We are the fire to the fuse. We are the reckless youth. We are the reckless youth.
We are live here at Homestead, Miami Speedway for round number 11 of 12, race number 11, or week number 11 of 12, I believe, at least for the time being, for the iRacing National Series here, the top split as well. And we appreciate you joining here for this afternoon's race, the starting grid. And your main screen about to come up on your screen here in just a couple of moments' time before we get everything underway. But this is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, and we hope you enjoy the next 30 or so minutes of tonight, or this afternoon's broadcast, I should say. As your starting grid for this afternoon, it is going to be a few names that I more than likely will not be able to pronounce correctly, starting with Adriano Pinheiro starting off in the first place position. Malik Knight starts off in second. Third place is going to be Jose Gonzalez, with Tyler Tomasi starting off in fourth. Fifth place is Daniel Etcher, with sixth place being James Skelton. Seventh place going to be Kevin Burris. Eighth place is Greg Moore. And rounding out the top 10 in ninth place is Tyler Karnatz and William Strayer in the 10th place position. John Ziolkowski will be starting off in 11th. Philip Resch starting off in 12th. 13th, that's going to be Jonas Sauva. Michael Whittaker starts off in the 14th place position. And the rest of your field scrolling by on the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a 24-car field. You'll get your sound here in just a couple of moments' time as well. We appreciate you tuning in here tonight. We're going to get the sound up momentarily in just a couple of moments, and your picture will be back as well. And this afternoon it's going to be a pretty interesting race. 35 laps here at Homestead, starting off in the sunset, and it will be ending off under the lights. So the pace car will pull off the racetrack, and it's going to be green flag flying here as we are down and away. For some reason the 8 have either jumped the start. Not entirely sure what happened with the 8, but more than likely maybe getting a black flag here momentarily. As there goes the 8 of Bradshaw all the way to the back of the field. Again, not sure. The 8 may have started elsewhere. We'll double check here in just a couple of moments. But so far, so good as, well, it's a bit it's relatively 3 wide and scattered throughout the entire field for the time being. But everyone managing to make it through for now. Kind of Kevin Bradshaw was scheduled to start first and missed the starting grid initially. Was relegated to the back of the field, but regardless, we are underway, we're going, and no one apparently appears to have any penalties for that main start. Right now, everyone relatively single file for the time being. It's still relatively really close battle between Jeffrey Banks in the 2 and Malik Knight in the number 20 machine. And for the time being, everything seems to be going A-okay. As Malik Knight continues to look to the inside, almost makes a little bit of contact with the quarter panel, but manages to hang on to it for the time being. No harm, no foul. Right now, Jeffrey Banks looking to stay in the tire tracks, at least for the most part, of the number 1 of Adriano Pinheiro. Malik Knight continues to work to the inside lane for that second place position. As he makes his way right behind the number 2 once again. Spin in the back, heard it, not sure who it was. Maybe the number 14 of Davin Cornelius, as well as Clayton Hoffman in the number 24. Quick replay will be coming up on your screen momentarily. You may just have had another wreck occur as well, but we'll get your replay up in just a couple of moments' time. So this was heading down into turn number 1 between the 24 and the 14. And just a bit too much. Not too much damage between both drivers. They managed to hang on to it, but then a little bit later it was something between the 6 of Kevin Burst and I believe the 17 of Tyler Tomasi. I saw both of them. The 6 gets turned almost by the number 10. Hangs on to it. This was again a little bit after that initial wreck. There's no cautions in the series as well, so not sure if it was Kevin Burst or not. We're going to stick with this replay for the time being. And yep, there it is. Also into turns 1 and 2. No, they hang on to it, so not entirely sure what happened to Kevin Burst in the 6. And we'll fast. Well, it looks to be Kevin Burst just having a connection issue by the looks of it. So everyone else relatively so far so good as currently ride on board the number 10 machine of John Holloway. Right now, it's still going to be Adriano Pinheiro with the 20 of Malik Knight in second. Third place, Jeffrey Banks is going to be trying to hold off the 7 of Jose Gonzalez for the time being. That may or may not be the case. We'll see how this goes, because that 2 of Jeffrey Banks is starting to slowly and surely get shuffled back throughout the field as this race runs on. It's relatively single file though still throughout the entire field. No major moments have happened as of yet. This group of about 10th to 15th place, being the number 10 to the number 16 car by the looks of it. It's actually 10th to 14th, I should say. As right on the end of that low group is William Strayer in the 16. The 18 is Tyler Carnatz. As they nearly make contact in turns 1 and 2, they're trying to battle a lot between each other, as well as Kunis Salvula, I believe that's how it's pronounced. But regardless, the number 5 machine trying to get into the top 10, trying to shuffle the 10 of Holloway to the outside of the top 10 for the time being. A quick and easy pass done by between the 10 and the 15, but the 10 and the 5, as well as between the 14, I believe it was, rather the 16 and the 18. So back up to your first place positions for the time being. Halfway break again going to be halfway break is going to be about lap 17 or so, lap 18. Don't miss a single thing here, as we will be going double wide at that time. Now it's a battle for the 4th place position as well as the 3rd place position. A great job by Jose Gonzalez to get a quick and easy pass done on Malik Knight. Does Malik have anything for him on corner exit is going to be the main question to look out for. Survey says no, as he looked to the inside but decided against it on the entry to turn number 1. As James Skelton in the number 3 continues to look for that 4th place position off turn number 2 for the time being. This will be Daniel Etcher trying to join in on that battle in that number 12 machine, but the 2 wants it back. Jeffrey Banks almost right on top of that back bumper. Practically right on top of that back bumper, almost pushing him into turn number 3 for that time. Battle just up ahead a little bit. Malik Knight had another look for that 2nd place position. Nothing came of that. James Skelton falling back now to 5th place once again after he took the inside line of turns 1 and 2 a bit too hard. Slid up the racetrack just a little bit, managed to hold on to it, but did fall back into that 5th place. Kevin Bradshaw getting passed by the 19. Trying to get the crossover back on the inside. This is for 7th place. It will not happen as the 19 is now scored in 7th across that start-finish line. Back up to 1st is still Pinheiro in that 1st place. Appropriately enough in that number 1, but he hasn't been without a challenge ever since the start of this race, as Gonzalez is just hovering behind that back bumper, waiting for the right moment. Your top 3 are broken away by a very significant margin. If we go to our wide-angle shot here, you can see that visual distance between 3rd place and 4th place. So the key thing to keep note of is that, well, this is going to be something to really look out for, is that these drivers, if they do choose to battle side by side, lap after lap after lap, then it may not be too big of a gap by the end of this race between 3rd place and the rest of the field. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a quick break as we approach the relative halfway point, lap number 17. But you won't miss a single thing here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, as we will go double wide momentarily. Don't go anywhere. This is the top split of the iRacing National Series here. Race number 11 at Homestead as the sun sets here in Miami. Well, it is now 11 laps to go here in race number 11 of 12 here at Homestead at Miami Speedway. It is the top split of the iRacing National Series currently taking place. No major wrecks have really occurred, only about a 2-car incident and then just a couple disconnects usually from, by the looks of it, just really no major issues for the time being. Really just more internet issues more than anything. But for the time being, it is still Adriano Pinheiro leading the way around Homestead as the sun continues to set here. And it would be practically in pretty much darkness by the time this race is over with 9 laps to go. Jose Gonzalez sits in second. In third place is Jeffrey Banks with Malik Knight directly behind him in fourth and James Skelton behind him in fifth place. Jeffrey Banks has been really hovering around the third place position, about the mid top 5 throughout this entire race, between third and fifth throughout this race. But Pinheiro has just been absolutely setting the pace throughout this entire event. Taking a look right now as he will come across the start-finish line this time by lap time for him across the line was a 33.926 last time around. Jose Gonzalez a 34.076, and Jeffrey Banks with a 34.033, and then another 34-second range in the form of Malika Knight as well as James Skelton. So just by lap times alone, just from that one lap, you can already base that well for the most part. Unless a mistake happens, knocking on wood here, of course, but unless Pinheiro overdrives a corner, which he hasn't been doing for the past 28, now 29 laps, he's got this race pretty much in the bag. And it's all said and done. Taking a look at third, fourth, and fifth right now at the number 2, the number 20, and number 3, respectively. As they all seem to follow, James Skelton looks to try and advance his position at least as much, or at least just by maybe one more by the looks of it, but it's been pretty relatively equal in terms of lap times between himself and Malik Knight, the driver in front, although doing a wonderful job by driving through turns 3 and 4 that time by to get a little bit more momentum. Peaks to the inside ever so slightly, but really nothing to say for it for the time being. Old car up in the wall in the background. That is for the number 12 of Daniel Etcher. Not entirely sure what happened, as someone was loose off the corner here. I believe that was number 20, Malik Knight, so that means James Skelton will move up to 4th place. Malik Knight looking to attack just by getting a run on the outside once again, but it will not happen this time by off turn number 4 with 5 laps remaining. I'm going to take a quick look at a replay here, looking at Daniel Etcher. Not entirely sure what happened to that number 12 machine, as we will try and get this pulled up as quickly as possible for you. Number 12, Daniel Etcher up on the top side. Just a little bit of contact, gets moved up the track, hangs onto it for the most part. A little bit of contact in the outside wall, but nothing too major for Daniel Etcher that time by. The battle for 3rd place has definitely opened up for sure. It is now Jeffrey Banks on the inside lane, and that number 2, the number 3, James Skelton up on the top side, and then the number 20 of Malik Ray, or Malik Knight, I should say. I knew I was going to say it at one point just by the name I saw from Malik, so it's Malik Knight, not Malik Ray, but regardless, that number 20, Malik Knight, sitting back, watching this happen in front of him, waiting for an opportunity to arise. I'm pretty sure he wants to dive in and get that pass done as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, though, that would not be the case. Forcing a 3-wide situation is usually not the best idea. So, for the time being, Malik Knight sits back in 5th place, watches these two sort of battle it out, but for the time being, with 2 laps to go, it is a name I could pronounce throughout the entire event, but now I cannot. Adriano Pinheiro in 1st place with a 2.2 second gap all the way back to Jose Gonzalez, about half a straightaway. And pretty much ever since the start of this race, ever since something had happened with the original pole sitter Kevin Bradshaw on the number 8, not sure what exactly, but regardless, with the white flag, he's been out front throughout the entire event, with absolutely pretty much no one to challenge him in the final stages of this race. He will come through the back straightaway this time by. You see Jose Gonzalez in the background, nothing he can do except just watch that bright orange car drive away with the win. Through turns 3 and 4, it's going to be Adriano Pinheiro continuing his... Ooh, off the throttle a little bit. But he will win here at Homestead Miami Speedway regardless. Jose Gonzalez finishing off in 2nd, 3rd place, 4th place, and 5th place. Jeffrey Banks, James Skelton, and Malik Knight. Great job by everyone here. As Pinheiro will immediately decide to retire the car just for safety, or his own safety as well, just to make sure that he doesn't damage the car up anymore. But the race is now over. I thought Pinheiro was going to slide up off the corner, but luckily he did not, and that was luckily not the case in the final stage of the race. Great dominance shown as we take a look at your race results for this race. After 35 laps, it's Adriano Pinheiro finishing off in 1st place after dominating a majority of the race and pretty much absolutely no one to challenge him the longer the race went on. Jose Gonzalez finishing off in 2nd place. 3rd place was Jeffrey Banks, with James Skelton finishing in 4th place, with Malik Knight rounding out the top 5. Great battle between those 3 for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place positions. Pole sitter Kevin Bradshaw, I believe, missed the grid initially, finishing off in the 6th place position. I had it before, now I don't, unfortunately, but Yunus Sauva, I believe. Goodness, that's going to be a tongue twister right there for sure. But 7th place position goes to Yunus Sauva. We're going to be here all day if I keep trying to pronounce this, but I'm going to get it right one day. But Eunice will finish off in the 7th place position. I had it, unfortunately lost it, so my apologies. Donald Etcher finishing off in 8th place. Greg Moore finishing in 9th, and Michael Whittaker finishing off in the 10th place position. Tyler Carnatz finishing off in the 11th place position, with Jose Mendana, Philip Resch, Mike Chapman, and John Eisenberg rounding out the top 15, Sean Bradley, John Holloway, Clayton Hoffman, William Strayer, and John Zilowski. Round out your top 20 with Kevin Burris, Davin Cornelius, Dave Carr-Smith, and Tyler Tomasi, rounding out your 24-car field here for this afternoon's race. Well, next week it is going to be, that was a close light pull right there for sure, but next week it will be Lanier for 60 laps, and what that means basically is, well, Lanier's, of course, synonymous in a sense for a lot of lap traffic, especially without cautions here on iRacing. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the drivers will take to that, how they'll fare with the lap traffic as well throughout this event, or throughout next week's event. And next week's event will be the last of the Racing Line Broadcasting Network before we go to a summer break, possibly leading into fall. We don't really know, but we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, for sure, summer break, of course, pretty much planned at this point, going to be taking place after May's race. So we thank you all for tuning in for tonight's race of Homestead's iRacing National Series. So in the meantime, before I let you go, or as we let you go, I should say, we hope to see you next week at Lanier Speedway for the final race under the lights, hopefully with fireworks by the end of it. Until then, we hope to see you next time